Good morning, everyone. On this Tuesday morning, we are continuing our reading from the book of Ephesians. We're in chapter 5, verses 21 through 33. Brothers and sisters, be subordinate to one another out of reverence for Christ. Wives should be subordinate to their husbands as to the Lord. For the husband is the head of his wife, just as Christ is head of the church, he himself the Savior of the body. As the church is subordinate to Christ, so wives should be subordinate to their husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church and handed himself over for her to sanctify her, cleansing her by the bath of water with the word, that he might present to himself the church in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that she might be holy and without blemish. So also husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one hates his own flesh, but rather nourishes and cherishes it, even as Christ does the church, because we are members of his body. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and his mother, and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. This is a great mystery, but I speak in reference to Christ and the church. In any case, each one of you should love his wife as himself, and the wife should respect her husband. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. As mentioned, I think I mentioned it yesterday, Apostle Paul gets into the more practical side in the latter part of his books, and it's no different here. And on the relationship of a husband and wife, how much it is a sign, a kind of an icon of the relationship between the bride, the church, and the bridegroom, Christ. And so there is a mystery going on here. There's a dynamism that's going on here, and an understanding that can be modeled when understood properly. But it begins by this mutual subordinate to one another out of reverence for Christ. The word literally means to be under rank. To be under rank. Some translations put it submission. The idea is like a private to his sergeant. The private may be smarter, may actually be quicker, may have a little bit more understanding of things, but in terms of the way things operate, he understands, he's under rank to that person. That doesn't mean that they don't work together and cooperate. In fact, they got to work together and cooperate in order for things to be done. So that's how it is done militarily. And so in reference to the community, that attitude is to be there too, amongst one another, having a sense of considering the other, looking to them and what's best for them. So it's a mutual, everyone kind of doing this. Now, that doesn't mean there's not some sort of hierarchy, because Apostle Paul will give instructions to churches and say, I'm telling you, this is what you need to do. And you think, how is that possibly subordinate? You're above. Well, he is. There is a hierarchy in this thing, but the attitude that one has is an attitude of looking out for the other, what's for the best. It's modeled best in the marriage situation. Husbands are to love their wives just as Christ loved his church. He was willing to die for his church. That's pretty substantial. And so if husbands had that, and then the part about wives subordinating themselves to their husbands, I think would be a pretty awesome thing. The bottom line is that this modeling is in, as he concludes this area, but I speak in reference to Christ and the church, that this is a modeling. And hopefully there are other examples of that same modeling. This isn't the only one, of working together for the good so that we are all coming to the full stature of Jesus Christ. Stay safe, folks. We hopefully will see each other soon. Bye for now.